Tonight on SportsDesk, let's talk hoops. With the ACC tournament just over a month away, the Hurricane Hangtime crew gives us the latest on Canes basketball.
Plus, meet me at the light. Baseball is officially back, and Canes fans got their fix just before opening day at FanFest.
And finally, running with a purpose. We'll hear the story of the godfather of running.
All that and more.
SportsDesk starts right now.
I'm Ed Reed, and you're watching SportsDesk.
Hi, I'm Jim Kelly, former guy. You're watching SportsDesk.
What's up? I'm DJ Williams, and y'all watching SportsDesk.
Hello and welcome to the first SportsDesk episode of the spring 2024 semester. I'm Wrigley Court.
And I'm Michael Muella. Thank you for joining us. Following a loss at rival Florida State, Canes women's hoops came back to the Watsco Center, looking to rebound with an ACC win against Clemson. Let's take a look at the highlights. Here you go, mid-first quarter, Clemson up 7-6. Here's Harris for an open three. It's good. Clemson up by 4. Late second quarter now. Harris, shot clock winding down, hits another three. Clemson going up by as many as 17 at the half, but before that, it's Amaria Robinson to Maddie Ott for another three. Bang, bang, bang. Here comes Miami in the third quarter now. Jada Patrick to reduce the deficit to 14. Miami looking to rally down by 11. Lattimore inside for Lazario Spearman. Up and under, it's good. It's a 9-point game. To the fourth quarter we go. Miami down 9 again. It's Jalea Williams. Latasha Lattimore from distance knocks them all down. It's a 6-point game. Miami with a chance to win it, tied at 61. Day Wilson for the win. Not quite. We're going to overtime. Canes up 4. Williams to Patrick. Yes! 4-3. Canes up 7. They never look back. Final shot to tie it is no good. Canes complete the comeback 75-72, improve to 15-7 overall and 5-6 in the ACC.
It's been an interesting last week for Miami basketball, and our Hurricane Hangtime crew is in studio to break down the highs and the lows. Guys?
Welcome back to Hurricane Hangtime. I'm your host, Shane McDonald, joined by Manny Nacarado and Taryn Jacobs, and let's get right into it. Manny, I know we don't want to talk about it, but we have to. What happened with the men against Virginia?
Well, Shay, Miami scored 38 points in 40 minutes and something that I've never seen before. This is the lowest point total since 1985, the rebirth of the Canes basketball program. And Nigel Pack and Matthew Cleveland combining for 4 points. That's not what you want from your stars. And Miami continuing the bad shooting from behind the arc, only shooting 10% from the three-point line and 28% from the field. This is the worst shooting performance this season for the Canes, and they got to be a lot better shooting on Saturday against UNC.
And you said it right here, Manny. UNC is one of the ACC's best, one of the nation's best. How can they try and pull off an upset?
Well, Shay, they're going to have to shoot the ball a lot better, and they're going to need great performances from their stars, Nigel Pack, Matthew Cleveland, nor Chad Omier, to get over the hump of that top-ranked ACC team, UNC, third-ranked in the nation. But Miami now 6-6 in the ACC, have a 15-8 record. Compared to last season, they had only 5 ACC losses. Miami right now, the 8th seed in the conference. This just goes to show how important Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller were to this team. And if Miami's going to want to make a run in March, they got to rank up these ACC wins and try and make that tournament.
Yeah, it's looking rough for them right now. But let's move on to some more better news. The women, Taryn, they've won 3 of 4, and last night they had a thrilling overtime victory against Clemson. What happened in that game?
Yeah, Shay, that's right. A big win for the Canes last night. A 75-72 victory in overtime after being down 17 points at halftime, making it the second largest comeback victory in Canes women's basketball history. And now a lot of the Canes showed up last night for that team, but Lazario Spearman was the player of the game. She was finishing in and around that paint. Even when she was heavily contested, she ended the night with 14 points and 17 rebounds, and Miami out-rebounded Clemson by 10 in that second half, and that's one aspect of the game that definitely needs to stay the same going forward.
Absolutely needs to stay the same, and if they want to not come out to a slow start against Georgia Tech this Sunday, Taryn, what do you want to see?
Well, Shay, Georgia Tech has been struggling as of lately. They have one win in their past 5 games. That win against Wake Forest by just 3 points. And Wake Forest has not been a great team this season. But Miami does struggle a lot on the road. An impressive 13-1 record here at the Watsco, but 2-5 on the road. Miami can't let Georgia Tech's home court advantage get the best of them. But also their defense. They need to come out dominant and aggressive. Coach Katie Meyer said in their game, after the game yesterday, that she yelled at them at halftime for their defense. And obviously things shaped up in that second half, so they need to keep that defense from second half yesterday going into the game on Sunday.
100% need to bring that intensity. Unfortunately, though, that's all the time we have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, guys. It's been an up and down season for Canes basketball, to say the least, but both the men's and women's squads are still aiming to make the NCAA tournament. Our lead reporter, Annie Watson, is live in studio to tell us how Canes hoops can make it back to the big dance. Annie, let's start off with the women, who are riding plenty of momentum.
That's right, Mike. The women's are off to a pretty good start at 15-7, 5-6 in ACC play, which is pretty good despite being in such a stacked conference. ACC is honestly a toss-up right now. Notre Dame got upset by Louisville, and NC State got upset by Virginia Tech. So it's anyone's game in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Katie Meyer knows how to pull clutch moments into clutch wins, as was seen last night in the overtime win versus Clemson. And having Latasha Lattimore back is a great addition to this team. They were already pretty deep last year, but having her back after suffering from an ACL tear is huge for this Canes squad. If Selection Sunday was this weekend, they would be playing Penn State in the first round, and if they would have won that game, they would be playing #1 ranked South Carolina, the only undefeated team in Division I basketball here today. To stay into the tournament, Jasmine Roberts, Lamaya Hilton, and Cheyenne Day Wilson need to be continually consistent. They've been amazing this season and showing some great numbers. So they need to continue to do that, as well as Katie Meyer needs to utilize the bench like she has been. She needs to stick with what she knows to continue the road to Selection Sunday in a month and a half.
Thanks, Annie. Now let's shift our focus over to the men's side, whose road to the tourney is a bit more challenging.
Yeah, despite having a very similar record to the women's team at 15-8 and 6-6 in the ACC, they've let plenty of ACC games slip through the cracks. There are at least 4 games where they had lost, but definitely could have won. And they had an overtime loss at Wake Forest at the New Year, loss versus Louisville a week later, and a 3-point loss in upstate New York, and then the 22-point loss versus Virginia. To earn their way in, Norchad Omier needs to lead this defense. He's great with rebounds, and they have the height on paper to be good in the rebound department and to help with second chance shots, but the results are just not showing on the court. Transfer Matthew Cleveland from Florida State and freshman Michael Nwoko at 6'7" and 6'10" respectively need to show up and show out and use their height to their advantage. That's all I have for today. Reporting live for UMTV, I'm Annie Watson. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up on Sports Desk, JD Arteaga takes over the reins as the Canes skipper. Find out some of the new players he'll be working with when we return.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains.
There's no sparks.
But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Baseball season is right around the corner, and the Hurricanes have a lot of new faces on the diamond. Who are those newbies? Well, Andrew Klein and Mia Hausman are live in studio to tell us. Guys?
Thanks, Wrigley. Welcome to Inside Pitch. I'm your host, Mia Hausman, alongside analyst Andrew Klein. We have a lot of things to discuss today, so let's get right into it. Andrew, we have some strong players coming back this season. Who should be starting on the mound?
Well, Mia, a good baseball team starts with a good pitching staff, and this Miami staff is experienced, and they've got a couple of new faces, but they've got some returners who are going to lead the way. Here's what I think the rotation is going to look like on day one for JD Arteaga's squad. It's going to start with the southpaw, Rafe Schlesinger, a bullpen pitcher from Miami last year, 24 appearances and an ERA under 4. That may concern you a little bit, but he showed his longevity against Texas, going 7 shutout innings in that big game in the regional for Miami. The 2 for me is Gage Deal. The reason he's the 2 and not the 1 like last year is because he struggled to start the year for these Hurricanes a year ago. In his first 3 starts last year, 12 innings pitched, 15 earned runs. Those numbers are not great, so you let him find his footing this year, and then maybe you bump him up or you keep him behind Rafe as that 2 guy. And the 3 for me is Herrick Hernandez. We'll be going on Sundays, I think. He made 14 starts a year ago for Miami-Dade College, was 8-3 with a 2.86 ERA, 90 strikeouts in 78 innings. Then you got Ben Chestnut and Drew Dwyer as well in the midweeks.
All right, now let's go behind the pitchers. Who's got their backs in the field this season?
Well, the defense is also a key, and this is where a lot of things are going to look different for Miami because there are so many different players all throughout Coral Gables, and it's going to start with this outfield. Edgardo Villegas, Jacoby Long, and Lucas Costello left to right for these Hurricanes. Now to the infield, where everything is going to look different. No Yo-Yo, it's Jason Torres now. No Dom Patelli, it's Dorian Gonzalez. Blake Steer is constant. He stays at second base. 17 homers a year ago. That was just the 4th freshman in Hurricanes history to have 17 home runs. And the first baseman, Renzo Gonzalez, the sweet-hitting left-hander. He'll play first base for Cafis. Carlos Perez behind the dish.
Well, it sounds like the defense is in great hands, but now it's time for the best part of this segment, Klein's Keys. What you got?
Well, here we go. It's time for the first one of the semester. Tips for a successful spring starts with having faith in JD Arteaga, the new head man in Miami. He was the pitching coach since 2003, so he knows this program like the back of his hand. A perfect guy to take Miami into a new era of Hurricanes baseball, hoping to get back to national prominence like they were when he was on this Hurricane team. Number 2, and another important spot, you got to trust these transfers. There's 7 new faces through the transfer portal for Miami, and they're going to play an impact. I talked about Costello. Of course, you've got Hernandez, and you got Drew Dwyer, who I said will also pitch for Miami. Of course, a lot of other guys in that portal. And number 3, a youth movement. 12 freshmen coming in, one of the best classes in all of college baseball. I guess out of those 12, one of them's got to step up, right?
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to it, but for now, that's all we have. So back to you, Wrigley.
Thanks, Mia. With the baseball season opener just 1 week away, the Miami Hurricanes hosted Fan Fest last weekend. Michael Muella, the man sharing this desk with me, was at Mark Light Field to check it out.
On Saturday, the smell of popcorn and milkshakes filled the air at the corner of San Amaro Drive and Ponce de Leon Boulevard, which could only mean one thing: Canes baseball is back.
Oh man, I'm excited. A lot of new players, a lot of new faces. I can't wait to see what they bring to the field.
FanFest returned to Mark Light Field for only the 2nd time in 4 years and featured a meet and greet with members of the team, giving fans a preview of what to expect in 2024.
No, I'm excited to see what the new coach can do with the new talent. Transfers are bringing a lot of talent with them, so if it can mesh with our talent, we're going to be something to shake up in the ACC.
Fans also got a chance to meet with some members of the Miami student section, Category 5, to learn about the kind of energy the students can bring on game days.
The students bring all the energy. We're here, we're loud, we're proud, and it's great to be a Miami Hurricane. As a committee, as a student section, the most dedicated, hardworking fans in the world, ready to showcase our love for our Miami Hurricanes.
The fun continued with a Miracle League game to support children with physical and developmental challenges, and will end with the annual alumni game on February 10th, leading up to the season opener against NJIT on February 16th. And while milkshakes were consumed and activities were enjoyed, there's work to be done with one goal in mind.
I mean, Omaha. How could you say it any better? Omaha.
One thing for certain, Canes fans will be there every step of the way, attempting to end their 7-year Omaha-less drought. Reporting for UMTV, I'm Michael Muella. Up next on SportsDesk, Niles Nassim, the self-proclaimed most electrifying man on television, brings us all things Canes social media on this week's Behind the Post. So don't go anywhere. But first, it's trivia time. Former Miami Hurricanes baseball player Yoandy Morales returns to Coral Gables for the alumni game tomorrow. But how many career home runs does he have? Is it A, 18, B, 26, C, 34, or D, 49? Stay tuned because SportsDesk has the answer when after the break.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
I said I'm fine.
Since I was little, it was only like me and my parents.
You think you created family out of characters?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna take that, make it into a song.
Me the bed, see you in the morning. With the first did Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Where you at? On the way out. In my head, in my head, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
All right, it's the big game coming up on Sunday. Who we got, Niners or Chiefs?
I mean, I don't like either team, but I mean, I'm pulling for Brock Purdy though, so I'm gonna say Niners.
I'm with you on that.
Well, I'm gonna have to be the antagonist here. I don't want the Chiefs to win, but Mahomes, he's just inevitable, man. That Mahomes to Kelsey connection, that's something special.
Every time, Wrigley, you go against us.
Every time, bro.
Sometimes I just gotta
Every day,
be
thousands
with
of
us.
kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how sketch is me? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You even turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back. If you guessed D, you're right. Yo-Yo hit 49 career home runs in over 3 seasons in the orange and green, placing him in the top 5 in school history. Last season, he hit 20 home runs to lead the team. Guess who's back? Back again. It's the most electrifying man on TV, and with all things Kane social media, here's Niles Nassim going behind the post.
Don't you dare let those feelings of sadness and frustration fester, because your boy is back for one more semester. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most electrifying segment on TV with me, Niles Nassim, your host with the most. So when you see me on screen, it's time to go behind the post. Listen, not only are the women winning, but they are doing it in style. I mean, do you see the Black History Month drip? It's simply sensational. You can see these star athletes dishing dimes, blowing minds, and looking absolutely fly on Sunday against Georgia Tech as they are coming off a signature win against Clemson, 75-72 yesterday in OT. Now the Canes are 13-1 at the crib, making their opponents seem nothing short of mid. And speaking of women doing incredible things, this week the university celebrated National Women in Sports Day. Check out what our male athletes had to say about this special occasion.
In Sports Day, who is a woman in sport that deserves a shout out? Honestly, Allison, our trainer. Shout out Allison.
Sports who inspires me and deserves a shout out is Coco Goff.
Allison Ross and my high school track coach, Nico Baker.
We at SportsDesk are so proud to have a cast and crew of exceptional women who elevate our show every single week. We could not do it without them. So I would like to take this time to tell them personally thank you for all that you do and continue pushing the envelope every single week. We love you and we see you. And finally, it is here, ladies and gentlemen. Baseball is back on the attack, and if you are looking for me, I can be found by the mound devouring a Mark-like milkshake and listening to home run sounds. The alumni game is tomorrow at 6, so make sure you get your ticks so you can be in the mix. And this season of basketball has had more ups and downs than Kim and Kanye, like their 30-point loss to UVA the other day. But tomorrow they will have a chance to take down the number 3 team in the nation, UNC, at home. Tip-off is at 4 p.m. You don't want to miss it. And finally, you guys know I am not a huge Swiftie, but I can't talk about social media without showing this monstrosity of Sebastian taking his own cover of the Taylor Swift's new album cover. And look, I really hope that the Chiefs lose on Sunday because I'm tired of seeing her and I want peace. This album comes out April 19th, so do not expect me to be in a good mood on that day. But look, that is all the time I have for you today. You know what to do. Be blessed. Don't stress because you know where to find me right here on SportsDesk. I'm Niles Nassim.
Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and the O Sports crew is here to show some love to Canes tennis as well as the rest of Miami Hurricanes Olympic sports. Guys?
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the first edition of the O Sports Roundup on SportsDesk of the semester. I'm Ashley Friedland, joined by Giovanni Alonso. Women's soccer is happy to announce the newest addition to their coaching staff. Assistant coach Brooke Bradley is coming from Florida Tech. Her previous career was at the University of Northern Texas, where she had a total of 120 saves and over 10 shutouts. On to women's golf. They just placed 3rd at the UCF Challenge up in Orlando, Florida. 4th-year junior Sarah Burns took home a 4th-place title. She took home 69 points in the final round of the tournament with a 72 par course. The team totaled 54 games at 853 points collectively, And finally, on to men's and women's track and field. Each team is dividing their athletes up in half. Some of them are going up to Boston for the Henry Davis Valentine Invitational, where the men's team teed off today at 9 a.m. and the women's team tee off tomorrow at 9 a.m. Over on the Tiger Paul and Clemson, South Carolina, the men's team teed off today at 11 a.m. and the women's team will tee off tomorrow at 9 a.m. as well. This is the last 2 invitationals of the regular season. Gio, what's happening over on the courts?
Well, Ashley, to say that it's been a huge week and weekend for men's and women's tennis would be the understatement of the century. Let's start with the men's team. They earned a 6-1 record following a back-and-forth thrilling victory over the South Florida Bulls. They're building a lot of momentum and a lot of steam early on this season, which is great to see. And they'll be heading up to Orlando to take on UCF this Sunday, February the 11th. The women's team also had a huge week and weekend as they earned their first ranked win of the season over number 9 Texas A&M. Even though A&M entered singles play with the lead, Miami ended up pulling out the win in singles play. The Hurricanes do need to work on getting off to early starts and just overall their play, the level of play during doubles. However, it's great to see the team building some momentum early this season. And Alexa Noel earned her 5th ACC Player of the Year award in her career.
Well, that's all the time we have for you guys today. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Still ahead on SportsDesk, an all-star player makes an all-star play. Don't go anywhere because SportsDesk will be right back.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
A tradition that has lasted over 20 years. The Miami Marathon welcomed in over 18,000 participants this time around. But one man in particular sees running through a different lens. Olivia Howell takes us through the eyes of the godfather of running and how the sport has become his lifestyle.
4 a.m. Before the rooster crows and the roads become flooded with traffic, runners from all over the world rush through the Government Center metro station and pack into the mover like sardines as they prepare to fill the streets of Miami to run the iconic Miami Marathon. The race had its inauguration over 20 years ago, having the first race in February of 2003. While this year's event had over 18,000 participants, the original marathon had just barely 1,000, and Courtney Barron was one of them.
I did the first marathon that they had 20 years ago, and in between I did about 6.
Running has always been a big part of Courtney's life, and he considers it to be more than just a workout.
Well, running is a part of life. Running has been a godsend. I've had some downfalls in life, and when I took up running, it relieved stress. It helped me to be focused. If I'm down, I go for a run, and I feel like new money. And I just encourage people to take walking or running up as an exercise, but it become a lifestyle to you.
Courtney Barron has been running for over 50 years and is known as the godfather of running. Today he celebrates his 80th birthday, and there is no better way to celebrate.
I'm doing terrific. It's my birthday. It just feels great. I mean, I really feel blessed, and I thank God. I got friends running for me and celebrating my birthday. So I'm very thankful for my birthday, and I'm turning 80 years young.
UMTV, Olivia Howell.
Cavaliers star Donovan Mitchell has been on a tear lately, and he kept that hot streak alive with a statement against the Sacramento Kings. Let's head over to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland for this week's Play of the Day. Mitchell here dribbling up big. He's headed into the paint. He's stepping back. He's not going to shoot it. He's going to head to the basket. He's going to slam his own miss. He's just going to take some steps. He's going to just put up a prayer, and he's going to lob that in there. He said, if no one else is going to take it, I guess I will. He's going up, and away for that slam, dapping up the teammates. The Cavs win that one 136-110. But let's take another look at that play. He's going step by step. Ooh, baby. Mitchell will finish the game with 29 points as the Cavs win, moving to 32-16 on the year. And with play like that, Donovan Mitchell starting to wriggle his way into the MVP conversation.
Oh, Wrigley. Yesterday it was revealed that another Los Angeles Lakers legend will be getting their statue unveiled outside of Crypto.com Arena. Basketball icon Kobe Bryant received the first of his 3 statues that will be placed outside of the Lakers' home in Los Angeles. The 5-time champion becomes the 7th Laker ever to be commemorated with a statue. His daughter Gigi will also be featured alongside the late Laker legend, who spent his entire NBA career in the purple and gold.
For 2 former Miami Hurricanes, the wait to join NFL immortality is finally over, and they found out last night at the 2023 NFL Honors Award ceremony. Andre Johnson and Devin Hester were elected to the 2024 Pro Football Hall of Fame class, joining fellow Hurricanes Edgerrin James, Ed Reed, and Ray Lewis, among others. Johnson played for the Canes from 2000 to 2002 and was a member of the undefeated 2001 National Championship team. He tallied over 14,000 yards and 70 touchdowns in his career. Hester, a former first-team All-American, holds the NFL record with 20 career return touchdowns, including this huge play to start a Super Bowl against the Indianapolis Colts. Hester and Johnson are the 10th and 11th Hurricanes inducted into Canton. And Michael, it's just amazing to see Devin Hester and Andre Johnson. Hester, I'm a lifetime Bears fan. Hester was the first jersey I ever owned, my favorite Bear of all time. To see those 2 all-time greats finally getting recognized for their play on the field, it's just something beautiful to see.
Yeah, you love to see it. 2 Canes going into the Hall of Fame, adding to the total. And how cool is that after such a long time, they finally get what they deserved, a huge honor. But how cool would it have been to see them both play at least one game for their hometown Dolphins?
Well, I'm going to be honest, Mike, I'm a Bears fan. I do not care too much about players playing for the Dolphins.
Fair enough. But that's all the time we have for you tonight on Sports Desk.
But don't worry, we will be here next week, same time, same place. Don't fear. Have a great night.